Welcome to the PROCAS Expense User Training Series. In this video, we'll give a brief overview of the different types of expenses that may be recorded in the expense reporting system. PROCAS Expense has been designed to help you report your expenses in accordance with the government's travel regulations. Our expense reports ask for the information necessary to determine the proper rates for travel expenses so that you don't have to. Let's go over the different types of travel expenses you may need to claim. Travel expenses can be categorized into three types: per diem, mileage, and non-per diem. Per diem is Latin for by the day. For trips longer than 12 hours, the government has determined the travel expenses allowed per day. The per diem rate will vary based on where and when you traveled and how long you were there. PROCAS Expense collects this information in what we've called your itinerary. Your expense report will use the cities, dates, and times that you have recorded in your itinerary and match them to the rates published by the Defense Travel Management Office to determine the proper per diem rates to use. The per diem expenses are further categorized into two subtypes: lodging and meals and incidentals expense, commonly known as M&IE. Your allowable lodging expense is determined based on where and what time of year you traveled. In addition to the itinerary, you'll need to record which nights you actually paid for lodging, so that the system can compare how much you paid to the allowable per diem rate. The M&IE per diem rate is a total of separate breakfast, lunch, dinner, and incidental rates, so determining allowable M&IE requires a two-step process. First, the system needs to know if any meals were furnished, so that the appropriate meal rate can be removed from the total allowable M&IE. Then, you will need to specify which days were actually business-related, so that you can claim the proper M&IE reimbursement. Many contractors use the M&IE per diem rate for reimbursement rather than your actual cost. This may make your life easier, since it means you won't have to save all of the receipts from each of your meals and incidental purchases. Mileage is one of the easiest expenses to record, since there isn't a receipt or an itinerary involved. The government specifies a mileage rate for reimbursement based on the type of personal vehicle you're using. All the system needs to calculate the expense is the type of vehicle and the number of miles. Finally, there are non-per diem expenses, basically everything else, such as airfare, rental cars, etc. It's also how non-travel related expenses, like office supplies, are treated in the system. This was a brief overview of the different types of expenses that can be recorded in PROCAS Expense. In the videos that follow, we will show you how to enter a trip itinerary and how to record each expense type. Click on a link to start another training video, or see our other PROCAS time and expense training videos, which cover the basics for using the system.